Luke stepped out onto the deck with his second cup of coffee and waited for Daisy to trot through the sliding glass door before shutting it again. He set the cup down on the wooden patio table, bent to give the dog an absent-minded pat, then stood and stretched his arms over his head, looking with satisfaction toward the hills to the north. Blue sky, warm sun, nothing much to do, and a whole long day to do it in. This was the upside of being a high school principal instead of a farmer like his brother. It wasn't his harvest, and it wasn't his job to get it in. Maybe he'd go out to Hayes Park and take a swim in the reservoir. He'd bet Daisy liked to swim. Somebody was moving in down in Frogtown, into one of the crappy apartments in the shabby fire trap right below him, because there was a pickup pulled up outside with furniture in the back. August 1st, which made sense. Moving day. Too early in the year for students, though, who were the usual tenants down there. As he watched, a petite woman in shorts and a blue T-shirt came out of the front door, the sunlight glinting on her short, pale blonde hair. She climbed into the bed of the pickup, and with the help of an older woman on the ground, began to shove a twin mattress out of it. A kid was there, too, grabbing hold along with the older woman. The blonde climbed awkwardly down, and they started to carry the mattress into the building. He should probably go down there and give them a hand. Didn't look like there was anybody else to do it. "Come on, girl," he told Daisy. He left his coffee where it was, jumped the steps, and headed out the gate and down the dirt path to the bottom of the hill. By the time he got there, the three of them were at the pickup again. There was another mattress in there, and the older woman was on the ground, beginning to pull at it. He recognized her. Sarah Clark, the mother of a couple of former students. Not her place, obviously, because the Clarks lived over on 2nd Street, and the other woman wasn't her kid. She wasn't a former student, because Luke would have remembered her. He went to take the end of the mattress from Sarah. "Morning. Looks like you could use a hand."
"Hi, Luke."
Sarah surrendered the bulky thing to him and stood back to let the other woman climb down, then reached for a cardboard carton.
"Yeah, moving's always a job, even when you don't have much."
She headed into the building, and Luke barely heard her anyway, because he was looking across the mattress at the blonde. Her hair was cut short and choppy, with bits of it sticking out at odd angles. It should have looked funny, but instead it just looked cute. Charming, he'd call it. Must be some new style. He liked long hair on women, along with just about every other guy on the planet, but he liked this, too. Maybe because it went with her face, not to mention her pretty little body. Because she was just adorable. No other word for it. A delicately drawn face, all broad cheekbones and wide-set gray eyes that made him want to keep looking into them. A nose dusted with just a few freckles, and the most kissable mouth he'd ever seen. Lush and generous, the upper lip curving up into a perfect bow, the lower one fuller, making you want to take a lick, and then a bite. Her T-shirt was tucked into baggy shorts cinched with a broad, battered leather belt that made her waist look even tinier, and her curves were delicate, too, but so pretty. She couldn't be more than 5'3". She was, in fact, about the most feminine thing he could imagine, and something ancient in him was responding to that call. She had some sort of mark on her cheek, though. Not a birthmark, not in those shades of black and brown. A bad bruise, he realized with shock. All of that went through his mind in an instant, while her gray eyes met his and widened. "Hi," he managed to say. He remembered to breathe, and a smile. "Looks like you could use a hand." And then he remembered that he'd already said that.
"That's okay, we've got it."
She nodded to the kid, and he stepped up next to Luke, took the end of the mattress, and began to heave it toward the door. He lost his grip halfway there, though. The heavy mattress thumped down onto dusty concrete, and the woman said,
"Shoot."
Luke stepped forward and picked up his end again. "How about bringing in one of those chairs?" he asked the boy. "I can get this." The boy's gaze flew to his